reporting for Katie Chats here at the Spoke Club in downtown Toronto with artist Daniel Barrow, the recipient of the 2013 Glenfiddich Artist in Residence Award. How does it feel to receive this very prestigious award?
I'm really excited. I'll be going to Scotland for 3 months, and I'll be the artist in residence at the distillery. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to summer.
And for those who may not know, what exactly will you be doing at the distillery in Scotland?
My understanding is I'll have my own little cabin with a studio inside, and I'll just be creating work on the premise and being inspired by the landscape and the community there in the Highlands.
You're very well known for your work with overhead projectors and antiquated technologies. What's your artistic process like? How do you begin a project?
Well, I usually start with a story. So, I mean, in many respects, my process is similar to that of a filmmaker or a comic book artist, and you know, those are the two art forms that I reference and provide me with the most inspiration. So, I usually start with a story, so a series of story ideas, which I stack in various configurations until I lock it into a script, and then I use drawings to sort of illustrate that story, and I usually use an overhead projector to present those drawings.
And how did you initially develop this style?
I developed this in art school. I was an art history major in art school, and I was particularly inspired by an art history professor who had been working at the school for over 50 years, so she had very rehearsed and very theatrical presentations. She knew every word. There was very little improvisation, and she used an overhead projector in all of her presentations. So she did a classic like art historical lecture with 2 slide projectors, and then she wanted everyone in the class to have the same notes. So at periodic intervals, she would turn off her slide projectors and interrupt her formal presentation and move across the stage to an overhead projector, and everything she had just said had been condensed into point form notation, so we were all to transcribe that. And there was something just very evocative to me about the combination of her presentation and her voice, which was very soft and lilting, and the scrolling text on yellowed mylar. So my earliest overhead presentations were sort of parodies of her art historical presentations. And but I, of course, incorporated all these pictorial elements, and I just really responded to that form of presentation, particularly with regard to presenting narratives, and so I just continued, and my language continues to evolve.
And along the lines of art history, who are some of your biggest influences?
Art historical influences? I would say Antoine Watteau, who was a French 17th century Baroque painter. Charles Birchfeld is a watercolorist, landscape artist who I love, and I'm currently really interested in John Robert Cousins, who's another watercolorist, a landscape artist, and I think that landscape will probably figure prominently in the work that I'll be creating in the Highlands.
And how do audiences respond to your work?
Well, I would hope that they would respond favorably. I'm always trying to sort of push the boundaries of like a moving picture experience and provide an audience with something that's innovative and interesting, but also really intimate and special.
And for maybe an audience member who isn't super familiar with the art world in general, what type of mindset do you think that they should walk into observing your work?
I like to tell people not to be intimidated in any way, and just to bring their own life experience into the piece. So, yeah, there's no special training that one needs to undergo in order to appreciate my work. It's very accessible, and you know, I think generally people get my work, like even kids like my work for the most part. But if someone doesn't, it's okay, and it doesn't mean that you're uneducated. It just, you know, it's just not your thing. You know?
And finally, what was your response when you found out that you were the recipient of the Glenfiddich Award?
Well, the Glenfiddich Award is a little different in that they announced the 8 finalists the day before they announced the finalists. So I had this sort of stressful day of like pressing, you know, refresh on my inbox to see if I was, because it was we were told that we would be notified within the next 24 hours. So I was incredibly relieved and excited when I found out I'd won.
Did you
Which was
scream?
It was exactly 24 hours.
Yeah. Were you jumping for joy?
I was jumping for joy.
And where's the best place for us to find out more information on your work and see what you do with the Glenfiddich Award and your residency online?
Well, I have a website, so it's www.danielbarrow.com.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Daniel. Congratulations, and have an amazing time in Scotland.
Thanks a lot, Katie.
Thank you. I'm Katie Allman reporting for Katie Chats here at the Spoke Club in downtown Toronto.